Hi everyone, I'm Grace Lin. I'm the author and illustrator of some of the storytelling math books. The first batch, I don't know if you can see them behind here, right there. These are some of the first storytelling math books, and I'm proud to be a part of this series. There are many different reasons why I'm really proud to be a part of this series. If any of you know my work, you know that diversity is really important to me. I'll give you a little background. I grew up in upstate New York as the only minority family in the area. That meant I was the only Asian girl in my whole school except for my sisters. And that gave me a really strange sense of identity. And because I felt so isolated, one of the things that I often turned to was books. And I loved books. But as much as I loved books, I also felt that strange sense of alienation because at that time, there was nobody in the books that looked like me either. So there was nobody that looked like me in school. There's nobody that looked like me in the books that I read. And I yearned so much to see somebody that looked like me in the books that I was reading. So fast forward, I became a children's book author and illustrator, and I make the books that show people like me in them. And what's important to me is to show people that look like me in everyday life. So as I'll be talking about later in our upcoming panel, I had a baby about 8 years ago. And one of the things that I found very frustrating was that I couldn't find any board books that featured babies that looked like her or looked like our family. There were the few board books I did find that kind of featured non-white children were ones called like Global Babies. They showed babies from all over the world, and they were beautiful books, but they also kind of emphasized the exoticness of these different colored babies, of these babies of different races. And that kind of bothered me a little bit because I really wanted to see people that looked like me, people who were non-white, featured in an ordinary way. And that has been one of the main things that I strive for in my work. And one of the things that really, really struck a chord with me about these math books is when Alyssa and Marlene came to me and they said, we're really interested in making these math books. And I said, math, like numbers? And they both said to me, almost at the same time, said, no, 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 much more than numbers. We want to show how math is everyday and commonplace, just a part of our ordinary lives. And when they said that, it rang such a bell to me because that's how I've always felt about diversity. I've wanted to show how characters of colors are normal, quote unquote, just part of our everyday lives. We're ordinary, we're a part of it. And all of a sudden, these two ambitions kind of came together, and I realized how well matched they were. So one of my favorite Mary Oliver poems talks about seeing the ordinary and realizing how extraordinary it is. And what's so wonderful about these books is that it takes the racial diversity and it makes it ordinary. It takes math and it makes it ordinary. It puts it together. And when you read the books and you see how ordinary it is, all of a sudden, you also realize how extraordinary it is. You realize, wow, math and all these concepts, they're all around us all the time. And people who are not used to seeing characters of color say, oh, these people are around us all the time. Maybe they don't say it right away, but they think it. These are the seeds that are planted, seeds of racial diversity, seeds of math being something that we can all embrace. So thank you so much for coming to our Storytelling Math Symposium, and thank you so much for looking at our books, and I hope you enjoy today.